Good evening and welcome. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. Before we get into the brackets for the upcoming tournament, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll. There are a couple of major changes in the rankings as March Madness approaches. The LSU Tigers jumped all the way from the number 14 spot to number 9.
They're peaking at just the right time, Greg. This is exactly the way you want to be playing going into the tournament.
Also, a new team has fought its way into the top 25. The Texas Longhorns are back in the poll as the number 23 team. It's time to talk about the topic that has a lot of players and coaches holding their breath right now, the NCAA Tournament bubble. These are the 10 teams that aren't worried as much about where they'll be playing as if they'll be playing. Clark, who jumps out at you there?
St. Louis impressed me this year, but there were occasions when they seemed to lose focus for a game or two at a time, and those setbacks could be what keeps them out of the tournament.
You got that right, and who else might be in the same position?
Oregon
put together a solid season, but their record just isn't impressive enough to make them a no-brainer bid. If the committee doesn't give weight to their tough conference, they could be out of luck.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The Michigan Wolverines are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Duke Blue Devils are seeking their 5th NCAA championship in school history. The Pittsburgh Panthers are our third number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our 4th number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Wisconsin Badgers are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 5th. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April 7th. Anything shocking to you about those picks?
I think those are the best 4 teams, but I'm a little surprised at the top overall seed. The media didn't think they were the number 1 team in the country, but the selection committee did.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. The Michigan Wolverines are the top seed, finishing at 28-4. They were conference tournament champions in the Big Ten. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between Missouri State with 14 wins and Jackson State from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And now, the number 8 seed, the Connecticut Huskies, come into the tournament 6th in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Harvard Crimson, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 24-4. Alabama comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 21-10. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Patriot League, the Bucknell Bison, with 22 wins. Rutgers enters the field as the number 4 seed from the Big East. This marks their 10th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed. The Stanford Cardinal finished the season with 17 wins.
The Rutgers Scarlet Knights are a team that is just so powerful and strong up front. I would put their front court up against just about any other teams in the nation right now. It's always good to have strong guard play, but if you ask most coaches, I guarantee you they take the good big man over the good little man most times. Their interior play should serve them very well in this competition.
The Texas Longhorns are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the St. Louis Billiken, with 23 wins. Ohio State comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 22-9. Wake Forest comes in to face them at number 14 with 14 wins in the tournament championship of the ACC. Our number 7 seed is from the Colonial Athletic Association. The away team had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Virginia Tech Hokies, who were 4th in their conference, finishing at 20-11. Next up is the number 2 seed. The away team have established themselves as one of the best teams from the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the New Mexico State Aggies, with 16 wins. This will be their 20th appearance in the NCAA Tournament in team history. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket if the top seeds can avoid the early upsets. We can look forward to some real heavyweight battles. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Duke Blue Devils are the top seed, finishing at 27-3. They were winners of the regular season championship in the ACC. They'll take on the Mustangs of Cal Poly, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their first appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Syracuse comes in as the number 8 seed, finishing at 20-12. Washington comes in to face them at number 9 with 20 wins and a chance to prove they're right where they belong among the top 65 teams in the nation. Tulsa enters the field as the number 5 seed from Conference USA. This is their 15th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed. The Governors of Austin Peay finished the season with 25 wins.
The Tulsa Golden Hurricane is a team to consider when you're filling out your bracket. They've been through so much this year. Adversity typically helps a team become a championship team. I wouldn't be surprised to see them put it all together over the next few weeks and become the focal point of this competition.
Florida comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 19-10. And they'll take on the 13th seed from the America East Conference, the Boston University Terriers, with 22 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the UNLV Runnin' Rebels, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Dayton Flyers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 24-10. The Tennessee Volunteers are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the away team, with 20 wins. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Georgetown Hoyas have established themselves as one of the best teams from the Big East. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Rider Broncs, with 24 wins. This marks their 4th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Our number 2 seed is from the ACC. The North Carolina Tar Heels were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the Wagner Seahawks, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-13. Some of the lower seeds in this bracket have the ability to not only compete with the high seeds, but win a few games. The potential for a Cinderella or two in this bracket is definitely there. On to our 3rd bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Pittsburgh Panthers are the top seed, finishing at 28-6. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big East. They'll take on the Ohio Bobcats, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 14th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Our number 8 seed is from the West Coast Conference. The Gonzaga Bulldogs had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the East Carolina Pirates, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 22-11. The Illinois Fighting Illini are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the Flames of Illinois Chicago, with 21 wins. Vanderbilt enters the field as the number 4 seed from the SEC. This marks their 13th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Montana State Bobcats. Finished the season with 21 wins.
The Vanderbilt Commodores are going to provide serious matchup problems to any team that doesn't have depth and defensive ability at both guard spots. They have outstanding backcourt play at both ends of the court. It's the main reason they've made it this far, and they're going to have to maintain that form if they want to do some damage in this tournament.
Arizona comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 21-11. And they take on the 11th seed from the Metro Atlantic Conference, the Marist Red Foxes, with 22 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the Massachusetts Minutemen, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Charleston Southern Buccaneers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 22-9. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Towson Tigers have established themselves as one of the best teams from the Colonial Athletic Association. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Aggies of Texas A&M, with 22 wins. This will be their 11th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. LSU comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 25-9. Hampton comes in to face them at number 15 with 16 wins in the tournament championship of the MEAC. What a tremendous regional final we'd have in this bracket if the number 1 and 2 seeds here make it through the first 3 rounds unscathed. That could be one of the games of the tournament. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Wisconsin Badgers are the top seed, finishing at 24-7. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big Ten. They'll take on the Chattanooga Mocs, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 11th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Next up is the number 8 seed. The Arizona State Sun Devils are the regular season champions from the Pac-10. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Arkansas Razorbacks, with 18 wins. 24-5. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Sun Belt Conference, the Florida Atlantic Owls, with 20 wins. Kentucky comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 22-10 with 22 wins in the tournament and regular season championships of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Our number 6 seed is from the WAC. The Nevada Wolfpack had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Pepperdine Waves, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 21-9. The Maryland Terrapins are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the James Madison Dukes, with 15 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the Houston Cougars, come into the tournament on the strength of a 3rd place finish in their conference regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Marquette Golden Eagles, who were 4th in their conference, finishing at 19-12. Louisville enters the field as the number 2 seed from the Big East. It's yet another appearance in the brackets for a school that's no stranger to the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed. The Lamar Cardinals finished the season with 18 wins.
The Louisville Cardinals have been here before and know how to win in the tournament, so they have a very good chance to go a long way. The memory of their last trip to the Final Four is still fresh in their minds, and you can't put a price on that kind of experience, even for the guys who were just watching from the bench last time around. I think that gives them a huge edge.
It's the first question every Selection Sunday. Which is the toughest bracket? Well, this bracket looks to me like it wins that prize this year. Not only are the top seeds strong, the lower seeds can be dangerous as well. Clark, give us your take on the tournament's top 16 seeds.
There are no real off-the-wall picks that jump out at me. These 16 teams are all pretty deserving. Let's give the committee some props this year. Ohio State
is easily the most dangerous number 3 seed out there. I'd say they have just as good a chance as the number 1 or number 2 seeds above them to make it to the Final Four.
Now, let's bring the conference picture into focus. The SEC gets 7 teams. The Big East with 7, 6 out of the ACC. The Big Ten gets 4 teams.
You got to take your hat off to the teams in the Colonial Athletic Association. They topped the non-power conferences with the number of bids they got, and it shows you how far this conference has come. They're becoming dominant at that level.
It's too bad we didn't see more small conference schools in the tournament. None of those conferences got more than 1 team in the tourney, and I don't expect any David and Goliath stories out of the teams that did get in.
I'm surprised there were so few bids for the teams in the Mountain West Conference. It was an especially conference. Usually you can count on a few of the nation's elite teams coming out of there, but this was a season where very few of those teams could maintain any type of positive momentum.
Let's come back to the bubble teams that we mentioned earlier in the show and see which of the teams were able to get into the tournament.
Texas A&M played in one of the power conferences, and that counts for a few extra wins in the eyes of the NCAA, whether it's right or not. But let's not take anything away from them. They had a nice year.
While those teams are celebrating getting into the tournament, let's take a look at the other teams who were on the short end of the stick.
Texas Tech
just didn't have enough difficult matchups this year to justify an NCAA tournament bid. I guess next year the coach will make sure to have a stronger non-conference schedule to avoid another snub.
All right, Clark, now that we know all the teams and matchups, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, it's going to be a fantastic tournament. We've got an outstanding field and a lot of sensational players. I guarantee there are some memorable moments soon to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA Tournament.